Hello, this is Hiwott Kassaye. My Graduate with Honors project is a real estate listing site. The inspiration behind the sites are sites like Zillow, Realtor, and Airbnb. I wanted to incorporate a lot of the functionalities and the features I've seen on these websites. So this is my homepage. I have, for now, an input field. Later on with the backend integration, I would like to have the user be able to put in a city or a zip code and kind of filter out my listings. I have the most searched cities here, static. And then I wanted to learn how to use CSS Grid, so I went ahead and added this resource sections that take advantage of CSS Grid. It was interesting and it was difficult to figure out how to make CSS Grid work and have it be responsive to different viewports. I then went ahead and added a couple more pages to my React app, buy and rent. So I do have a JSON server set up. That JSON server holds all my listings, including those that are marked buy and rent. And I have a key that identify if a property is a buy and rent, and these components filter out based on that key and value pair. So again, this I've used cars and carousels so the user can just really scroll through the pictures. As they add more listing, they just kind of appear in these two column formats. It makes it easier for it to be a responsive site as well. I've also added the functionality of using React icons, so the users can mark this heart icon to see if this property is something that they're interested in and want to save it for later use. This doesn't persist right now, but with the backend integration, I would like to add that feature. But if you do come to your saved, you will see that you'll see these are sites I've saved up previously. You'll see that 111 Main Street was added. I can also unfavorite a card from this site, and you can see it disappears. And if you come back to your buy, it disappears from there as well. Another thing I've added is the same functionality goes with at list rent. Another thing I wanted to do is have the ability for the user to add a new listing. I can come here and add a new listing. I would add more fields for later on, but here the user can come and post a listing. I am struggling with the idea of how to make these fields reset after the user have posted their listing, but here the listing is rent, so I can come to rent and see that the user have posted here 401 9th Street. And the reason you see these images not found is, like I've mentioned, I'm using JSON server to host my data, my listing data. But one thing I've struggled and I haven't been able to figure out is how to save images to the JSON server. I have read a lot about how it's going to be different with Node.js or a lot of the backend servers. So I'm hoping when I get to the backend side, I'm able to add the images, a field for the user to add images, and that image to be saved in the server with the unique ID of each listing. That way the images pop up here, but I wanted to be able to show how the cards would roll out. So as you can see here, the images are not found, but this is the one listing I have, the other listing, and this is how the card is going to populate. I also do have a login, currently not functional, but I would like to add authentication and have the ability for the users to sign in and their saved information if they would like to. Create account currently will be very similar to the modal where the user is able to log in. So going back to my app, my Visual Studio Code, I am using Redux. So I have a couple of action types, which is, add favorite, add listings, and also listing loading, filled, and rendered, because I am using my JSON server. And I went ahead and have created several components for the buy, the header, the footer, used some of the instructions that were given to us during the workshop in order to be able to achieve my website. Thank you for the consideration, and the next steps would be to take this project and use it in the back end workshop and add more functionalities and usability for the user to kind of get it to the next level. Thank you for your consideration.